Hello everybody and welcome to Eric's Fans and More. Sorry it's been a little while since I have done any new videos. I've been pretty busy. I did get a bunch of new ones for my collection though. Last month, as featured, here is one of them. This is an early 80s Edison Comfort fan. It's a 12-inch model. The motor in there is manufactured by Toastmaster, which was at the time a division of Edison. Now this fan actually was one of the first ones that I had that actually started giving me some problems. I have a video I will put at the end of this, the very end of this video, that demonstrated what was wrong with it. And on Facebook there were a couple people that responded to my video. The very first one was the very first person thought this motor on this fan was just bad, and that's why it wasn't operating right. But it was not a bad motor, and the second person thought that this video of the fan that I had posted on Facebook was the bearings were shot. Well, both of those were good. Those were both good things. I thought both of those things were good things to point out. It was good advice that they had, that the bearings of the motor were bad, but it actually wasn't either one of those things. What ended up being wrong with this particular fan was the motor was just so filthy. The motor shaft had so much gunk and stuff on it that this little fan, it could barely even turn its blades anymore, and that's actually a more common problem. I've heard a few other fan collectors say that a lot of times your motor, you might think the fan's bad, but the fan actually isn't all that bad. It's just it just needs cleaned. So I took it up to a repair place and had the thing cleaned up and everything, and now it seems like it's running pretty good now. This particular model of Edison fan was purchased at, I'll show the sticker here in a second too, it was purchased at a store called Pamita, I think is how you pronounce it. It was a department store. They were bought out in like 2012. They're no longer in business, but this one was bought there. And this, as you can tell by looking at it, and I will give a closer video here in a second, is the wood grain model of this fan. Now, something that you'll notice, and let me go ahead here and get a better video here of the a little bit closer of this fan. Let's see here. You've got as you can see, kind of by looking at those blades, you'll probably be able to see them a little bit better from the back. But it's 3 blades, and they're kind of reversed. This fan spins counterclockwise, which I thought was kind of interesting. It does not spin clockwise like your typical fan does. It spins in reverse, which makes me think that maybe a lot of people use this like when they were working on stuff, and they would just let all the like sawdust or whatever they were doing construction on just blow through it as kind of like an exhaust fan, because I keep thinking that that must be the reason why this fan was not functioning correctly. Maybe that this whoever owned it just used the complete crap out of it, and it finally just couldn't spin anymore because there was just so much gunk and stuff from whatever it was being used for, that it finally just wore out. Another cool thing about this fan, though, is that it not only does it spin in reverse, it also is a 3-speed fan, which is interesting, being a 12-inch. You may not be able to see this, but yeah, it's pretty dark. But it's low, medium, and high, instead of high, medium, and low. Now this fan does take a minute to spin up to speed. I do think, like I said, it's just very worn, given its age and everything, that it doesn't get up to speed quickly. And you usually do have to turn it to medium or high unless the motor is already hot before it'll spin all the way up on low. And then turn it back down to low, and that's when it stays up at speed. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second. So I'm going to go ahead and give a little demonstration here. It still has its handle, even though the thing was not functioning. The body of this fan is in great shape. Let's go ahead and turn it around. So there's your side. Nice wood grain look to it. I like the feet on these things too, how they go kind of in. I think that's kind of a cool feature about this fan. Got your motor screwed into the very back of the grill. It's got a little like straw thing. I don't know if you can see that from the motor sticking out. Yeah, right there. A little yellowy looking thing. That's what you put the oil in there to go to the front shaft, the front part of the motor shaft. And this back little thing here, you see where my finger's pointed, that's where you put the oil in the back of the fan. I even came with its original instructions and everything. There's your Toastmaster. You can't really see that. I can try. Yeah, I don't think you can. Not with how dark this thing in the light. That's the sticker, but not gonna be able to see that. I believe it runs 1 amp. You know, it's a 1 amp motor. It's not very strong. But nevertheless, this is definitely... I always liked those Edison fans, the motor sound on them. I thought they had very good white noise. Gonna go on that side. Again, it looks pretty much just like the front. And then here's the bottom of it. It has somebody's name and where they live. I don't know if you can totally see that. Very dark. It's got like some writing or something there. I can't really... Let me see if I can read it. No. Like I said, I believe this was manufactured in 1981, but not totally sure. Now let's go and look at this. This is the box. As you can see there's the original sticker, Pamita. It's not gonna wanna... Purchased for $24.99, which back in that time period, that would probably have been like an equivalent of $50. I'm not sure what that 17 is for. Here's the side of it. Don't know why whoever owned this thing or was selling this thing put works on it, because like I said, it did not work. It had something wrong with it. There's the address, Toastmaster Inc., 2nd and Vine, Boonville, Missouri. And that building, by the way, is still there that they used to manufacture these things in. It's still sitting there. It actually looks like whoever owns it is maintaining it too. It's not in as bad of shape as you'd think of old factory in Missouri like that would be after sitting for so long. There's the bottom. That's the sticker. It's kind of hard to see. There's all kinds of stains and stuff all over it, but that's where I thought it said 1981. Let's go back to the front. Pull it open. Here's the inside of the box. Can't really see in there, but can't keep this box open either. Damn. Okay, here is the information stuff that came with this fan. Never even seen one of those things before. I don't. Time Master, multiple program timer. Ingram, maker of fine products since 1831. Looks like something you plug your fan in, and it would like turn it on and off however you had it set. It says use it for timed efficient control fans, heaters, and other electrical projects. Multiple settings allow it to go on and off at any hour of the day or night. Ideal for home security. The Time Master Multiple Program Timer is an ideal night watchman when you are away. Just plug it into a lamp. A handsome and practical gift. I do not know anything about that. I'm not sure if anybody owns one of those things. Can tell me if those are cool or not. This is the warranty registration for Edison. P.O. Box 1637, Columbia, Missouri. And then here is the instructions. And I have definitely seen one of those things before with the banana blade. Use and care guide. It's always nice when one of these old things comes with this, because nowadays I notice like these new fans, they have a big orange sticker that says what not to do if you want your fan to burn out. This thing actually gives you all the information on what to do if you want your fan to stay in working order. It's got your cleaning instructions, your oiling. It has all that BS about how they have permanently lubricated bearings and do not require oiling on every model except for the one that I have. And I do have a 14-inch and I've got a 20-inch Edison box fan. I can tell you those motors are really cool, but they still do need oil at some point. I don't know if anybody's ever been able to oil one of those, how easy it is, but they definitely do need to be oiled sometimes. It also has the oscillating front grid here, which I've honestly been really interested in one of those. I've never ever seen the oscillating front grid. That is, and not an Edison oscillating front grid fan, but I think that's cool. I'd like to get one of those oscillating front grid fans at some point too. Go ahead and put these three things back in the box. Set this down for a second. I'll let you look. Alright, let's get this all set up. I'll plug this thing in and everything. Alright, let's go ahead and show this thing in operation now that it's fixed. Here's low. It doesn't get all the way up to speed, as you'll see. Medium. Took it a minute. It's not super powerful, but that low speed is still not what it's supposed to be at. It's not able to get up to speed on its own anymore without you hitting medium or high. It does still blow pretty good air. I think that noise it makes, that's got a really nice motor noise. Here's high. Let's go back to low. So you can see what low actually is like. Yeah, you can definitely tell though. It's like this thing does work now. That the motor was cleaned out and everything, but you can just tell it was well used. I think I might get another one of these at some point. But let's go around to the back so you can see the motor. It's kind of hard to see from the front. I know how these things are. It's like they... made them kind of hard to... So there's the back. Let's put it on medium. High. Back to low. Bring it around to the front. And let's go off. So here we have, I'm going to do a comparison since I never got to do this before with my Wells Royal. These were manufactured by Lakewood. I think that's from the late 60s or early 70s. I have already done a demonstration of this fan before. In fact, this is my last fan I demonstrated. But I didn't have the stand on. I wasn't sure if this thing originally came with a stand or not. I wasn't sure if someone just purchased this with the stand separate. So that's why I took it off, but I wanted to show you guys it with the actual, with its original stand. But as you can see, this one has a pretty nice speed selector thing on it. It's got a black handle, which is very interesting. For Lakewood, it's got, just like the Galaxy here, it does have the switch, the plug and everything on the side, whereas the Toastmaster or the Edison over here has the plug into the back of the motor. This one has the GE. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of GE motor. I don't know who made the motors on these Galaxies. I'm not 100% sure. But I do know that this fan, I got that box over there, so you guys can see it. I've already displayed this fan with its box, so I wasn't really going to do another one. But this one came with its warranty originally, and it was purchased at a store called Ben Franklin, the Ben Franklin stores, and yeah, it's They're pretty nice. These all three of these 12 inches. These are the only three that I have. They're all pretty good, nice fans. I do, of course, think the Lakewood. The Lakewood's my favorite. I think that this is the best one. But these are all cool fans. The Galaxy and the Lakewood or the Wells Royal are both pretty rare, whereas the Toastmaster was a little bit more common. The Wells Royal, that was a brand at Treasure Island, which was a discount department store owned by J.C. Penney, I guess, before they switched to the outlet. These are all kind of designed like this one has. I don't know if you could see the little crowbar or whatever that goes across the back. That's how this thing. I actually like that design the best. Whereas this one's got like this motor that goes like has this like metal thing in the middle of the motor that separates it. I could show you from the back. You probably is a little bit I think this is actually from 1981 also too, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, like the motor thing kind of like goes through the motor goes to the middle of this like metal rod looking thing. And like I said, I don't know if Marco is who manufactured these motors or who did, but it's pretty. It doesn't run. I don't even think it runs an amp. That one runs an amp. This one I think runs around an amp or maybe a little more. This is probably, like I said, the most noisy of the two, or of the three. Well, actually, that's kind of a debate, I guess. This one's pretty noisy too with those 7 blades. It kind of sounds like buzzing bees, which is I don't particularly care for that sound. This one, as you guys can remember from watching my previous video, it did have something wrong with it, but again, it just needed oil, and I was not able to oil it properly, so I took it up to a repair shop, and they were able to get it all oiled. But it is still kind of slow, just like that one. When the motor's been cold on this, it takes it a minute for it to actually get back up to speed. But it does work now. It will get up to speed. At least it did last time. We'll see if it does it again this time. But let's go ahead and show off all of these. I think I'm going to do the Galaxy first, since I got that one plugged in. But the last thing I was going to say about that one is the Edison has it's like I said, the motor is connected right into the back of the grill, which is kind of, was an interesting design on those. So you got a wood grain, you got a gray one, which is more standard, modern kind of look, I guess, and then you got the brown aluminum blades and the 2 little plastic blades. Alrighty, so why don't we go ahead and start this one up. I'm going to go ahead and turn it back around first. Alright. Here's high. Let it get up to speed for a second. It takes it a moment. There we go. Though this one is noisier, with the 7 blades, it does seem like it blows a little more air than the Toastmaster, but I still like that one better just because it's a little bit nicer to sleep with. This one is a little bit noisier. It's harder to sleep with. It's very loud, those 7 blades. There we go. Now we'll go ahead and turn it to low. It might kind of still getting up to speed. The top of it, vintage kind of knob. I think the knobs on these things were kind of cool looking too. The knob, and here's. There's low. Go ahead and flip it around. Motor noise. Turn it back around. Never pick up these ones by their handles because I don't want the handle to break on it. I always just pick it up. But it's not too big or anything, so it's generally an alright one to pick up just by the body. It's like I won't drop it or anything. Now let's go ahead and go off. Alrighty. Go ahead and put that one back there. Unplug it. Go ahead and turn this one on. Here's my Wells Royal on high. There's a little bit of a clicking noise. I think that is from the grill that it's attached to, or the grill. I'm sorry, the stand that it's attached to. This one here does, of course, blow the best air out of all three of these. With those metal blades, for the most part, you really can't compare. Every once in a while, you'll find a fan that does have plastic blades, like the 20-inch versions of the Edisons. Those are pretty powerful fans, I'm not gonna lie, even the plastic blades. But for the most part, your plastic blades, they don't compete very well with the metal bladed ones, but there's still some decent ones. Like I was saying, I think that Galaxy is a little better than the Toastmaster in terms of how much it blows, but this is the best for sure. Here's low. This one, and of course the Galaxy, they're more typical 12 inches. They only have the 2-speed instead of the 3-speed that's kind of like in reverse on this one. There's a little bit of a vibration to it, but it's not too bad. Go ahead and turn this thing around. This one is probably also the heaviest. The body is a little bigger than the Galaxy. I think has the smallest body, but yeah, this one is. Let's go ahead and turn that around. almost seems like on the stand it's a little bit crooked or something, but I mean, there's motor noise. Motor noise on high. Go ahead and turn this thing back around. Goes off. And last but not least, we'll see how this one performs in compared to the Galaxy and the Wells Royal. Since this one has now been sitting warm, it's not been sitting cold for several days, the motor, it should start right back up. Since I did just show this one, we're not going to do a whole formal demonstration again. Still is a bit slow. You do have to give this one a second as well, once it's been warm. Another odd thing to me about these is how they put these like nuts in here instead of the typical flathead screw, or the not flathead, the Phillips screw. Yeah, there we go, it's getting up. That's the only thing that I think these are a little bit weird. It's like that on this one, they've got nuts in the handle, which makes sense so the handle doesn't break off. Whereas this one, it's like they have these little kind of bendy, brakey handles that don't last very long. Same with that one, same kind of thing. This has a decent, everything else is pretty good on it, but that handle to me is, yeah, not super great. There's medium. There's high. And it still blows pretty good air. There's luckily this one doesn't have really any vibration. Now off. Toastmasters, to me, their fans are really, they're kind of weird and quirky. Like I said, my all-time favorite is still probably Lakewood, and I probably do like Lasco as a brand better, even though I think that this fan, I'd rather sleep with it than that one, because I just think that one, the noise level is a little kind of annoying to sleep with. This one here, this one it's noisy, but it's like not in the same way. You can still sleep with it pretty well. Yeah, there we go. Here we have a Windmere 10-inch box fan. The model number is BF1000 with its original, it says here on the original manual. This thing came with its original box also. I don't believe this has any good way to service it. I bet you could probably take that plastic off of there. It looks like this thing at one time was used pretty good. It's a 3-speed. It's my first of the Windmere fans. Let me let this thing so you guys can kind of see it. Yeah, it definitely doesn't look like it's meant to be taken apart, but I bet you could still. That's the, I don't know if you guys can see up in there, the electrical box, and there's the, those blades. Take out the manual here. Yeah. Came with its original plastic. Nothing else in the box. There's the fan itself. This is like my first of these little mini kind of box fan things. I don't know how old this one is. It's got the old Windmere logo, which makes me think it probably is earlier 90s. These to me are still better than those the newer like Comfort Zone versions, but I mean even these are still, I mean, yeah, they're still pretty old. Or they're old, but it's also fairly cheap. I mean, this is still a pretty cheapy product, but it's still pretty cool. It's a 3-speed, and just like my Edison, it goes low, medium, and high. I don't know if you can see that in there or not. Low, medium, or high. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Here's low. Very quiet. There's medium. Blows a fair amount of air. There's the logo up there if you guys wanted to see it. Windmere. There's high. Can't even really see the fan. You can see kind of the back of the motor. Let's go ahead and turn this thing around to the side so you can kind of see the back. Motor noise. Medium. Low. Warning: to reduce risk, injury, or electric shock and injury to persons do not use in a window. It's kind of hard to see that, but there it is. Let's go off. It's got a nice spin down. Here is my little miniature personal fans I just recently acquired. I got 2 different Galaxies. This one came with its original box. As you can see here, the model number is 3140. It's a product of the early 80s. Same with this one. These 2 came as a set. This is a Windy by Tahoe. Apparently they're made under a different name now. And these 2 I cleaned. They were filthy when I first got them. This one here was a little harder to clean. You gotta unscrew this little thing right in the middle here, the flat or the Phillips screw. Take this off. Take off the back here, which is royally kind of a pain. To get this whole thing apart, just to get off this grill so you can clean in there. But I was able to get it all fixed up and get the switch put back in the correct, because the switch in here is just hanging inside this motor housing. It's not like screwed into anything or anything. But as you can see here, this thing here is how you get this adjusted so it goes up or down. It is a 2-speed. Probably, I think it's only like 0.6 amps or something like that. It's, nothing too powerful. I don't know what these two are. They have these little things on the bottom though. Where's that one? And they can basically, so you can tilt them and move them as well. I'm gonna go ahead and start them up each on high. This one goes low to high. These two you have the option of switching. I'll show you like the back of, here's the back of that one. Here's the back of this one. This one tells you if it's off, low, or high. The other one, the windy, does not. As you probably know, though, I've probably shown you guys this before. I have a Too Comfy by Tahoe fans who manufactured that one. They both came with their original boxes too, and they're pretty cool. Ooh. Here is the bubble wrap. I'm not sure if that's original or not. Probably isn't. Here is the nothing else in there. Here is the warranty. This one is just a warranty. It doesn't have any service locations like my other Galaxy does. But yeah, that's pretty cool. These were also not manufactured in the US, which isn't completely surprising. It kind of seems like, I'm gonna put this down for a second. Kind of seems like box fans were the last ones to start being made. Sorry about that. They were the last ones to start being made, or stop being made fully in the US, whereas a lot of other fans, even the like pedestal or oscillating fans, were already being made overseas at this time. I think these were made in Taiwan. This was made in the US. These were manufactured in the United States. I don't know if they still are, but these were. But those two were not made in the US. They have similar, yeah, they have very similar blades though. That's the thing that's interesting. I can't tell if they're the exact or not, but they're like, they're all five. There's 5 wing blades, and they yeah, I mean, they do seem like they're the same, almost the exact same. Kind of interesting. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and start this one up on low or high, whichever this is. I think that's high. These Galaxies, I'm not gonna lie, they don't blow as much air to me as the Windies do, the ones manufactured by Tahoe. These Lasco Galaxy personal fans, even though I do like them, they seem to be pretty popular, and I'm glad I was able to get a couple. Yeah, they're not very, they don't seem to be, they're not super common, and they definitely don't blow a ton of air. The Windy was better. I'm gonna be using that one in my room. I'm switching these out, because I was had this one for the time being. There's low. That one was high. But I have had this one over there for the time being, but I'm gonna switch it. There's off. Let's go ahead and start this one up on high. Now that I've cleaned this one, it blows more air, I think, than that one does. The one that was in better shape, that was probably barely used. That's interesting. I think this might blow a little more air now that I've cleaned it. I think it might. Maybe this one over here needs a little bit of oil. I'm not sure if anybody knows how to oil this type of motor, but if anybody can give me any information on that, that would be much appreciated. Here we go. So yeah, here's the Windy. I had to switch out my battery. I apologize for that. On my camera, yeah, the battery pack died. But anyway, so yeah, these like I was saying, these were popular amongst a lot of fan collectors. Really liked these. They're pretty popular amongst fan collectors, but they're not very common. I'm surprised I was even able to find. There's a few that go up on eBay, not like super unpopular, like that little 12-inch 3712 box fan that I was showing earlier. But these ones don't even seem to be all that common amongst the fan collector community. The Tahoe products are not all that common. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a little demonstration here. I think I kind of already showed you guys the back of this thing. These are kind of cool. I think there's a video on YouTube you could find of the more modern day one. I think this particular one was manufactured in 1985. So yeah, there's the bottom. Or 386, March of 86. The model number is PF05-1. They were manufactured in Reno, Nevada. And yeah, this was made in the USA. It is a, does it give them amps? 0.25 amps. So, it is. It's a little more, this thing definitely blows a lot more air, and it's American made. That's pretty sweet. This one here, 0.16, so it's close. I'm just curious, let's see, are these both the same? Yeah, 0.16. This one just has the switch thing, the adjusted, they're both on the other side. That's like the only difference. And the badge thing is in a different, is on the back. They're basically the same though. This one's got a, yeah. Anyway, so let's go ahead and start this one up on low first. It's a little noisier, I guess, but it blows more air. Those ones are a little quieter. Goes off.